to give the floor to the last panelist of our session, Mr. Mark Mapemba, Parents of Disabled Children, Malawi. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, distinguished delegates, honorable representatives and colleagues, it is an honor and privilege to speak with you today. My name is Mark Mapemba. I am a self-advocate from Malawi. I am a board member of Inclusion Africa and incoming council member for Inclusion International. I'll speak today about promoting the rights of persons with intellectual disabilities. As a self-advocate, I welcome the focus at the year's Conference of States Parties on Intellectual Disability. We are all often ignored and left behind. I'm proud to say that Inclusion International work with civil society coordination mechanism to develop a position statement regarding the UNDISA background paper for the roundtable on promoting the human rights of persons with mental and intellectual disabilities. I encourage you to read and share the paper. To promote and realize the rights of persons with intellectual disability and their family, we must first understand what is important to us and what challenges we experience. People with intellectual disability want the same things as everyone else: to live typical lives in our community with same opportunities and options as our brothers and sisters, cousins and peers. However, we know that the majority of people with intellectual disabilities live at home and do not have a choice about where they live. The major source of support and care people with intellectual disability receive is from their families, yet families receive little or no support from communities or governments. Individuals and their families do not get support they need. For the most part, community systems continue to exclude people with disabilities. For me, living, being included in the community has meant a lot, because I was part of the community. I had a chance to be part of everything, and now I able to communicate and be part of on decision making in our community. We want to be able to choose where we live and with whom we live. We need access to support, and we need to be included in our communities in meaningful ways. Society itself also poses challenges. People with intellectual disability are often discriminated against and devalued by society. This has improved over the 20th and 21st century, but many individuals with disabilities still face being stigmatized in everyday life. We need to change how our communities work so that we can fully included throughout our lives. People with intellectual disability and their families identified inclusive education as the key to break down barriers and building inclusive communities. In 2008, Inclusion International released a global report, Better Education for All, where we are included too on education. We know that children who are excluded from school are more likely to experience exclusion throughout their lives. Children who are included in school are more likely to be connected to their community, have meaningful relationships beyond their immediate family. They are more likely to get jobs and healthier. They are more likely to be engaged in the civic life of the community. They are less likely to live poverty. Access to inclusive education transforms lives and communities. Lifelong patterns of inclusion start at school. It helps us to build relationships and set an explication that people with intellectual disability will be included throughout our lives. For me, inclusive education has meant a lot, because at the start my parents sent me a school where there was no special teachers, but because of the courage of my parents, I included myself to the community, to the school, and because of that, here I am today speaking to you. Lifelong pattern of inclusion start at school. It helps us to build relationships and set an explication that, as long as money is being used to fund two systems, the regular system and the special systems, there will not be enough money to build up the supports to ensure inclusive quality education. We need to change how we deliver education. We must focus on helping teachers and make sure students have the support they need to be included. Inclusive education is a part of building inclusive communities. Inclusive communities are stronger because they are better for everyone. People need support to live in the community. We need person-centered planning seek to address this problem by encouraging a focus on the person with intellectual disability as someone with capacity and give gifts as well as support needs. To be included in my community, I need to be seen and valued. We need to invest in self-advocacy. Self-advocacy is equal to power. The most important thing we can do to promote our rights is to invest in us. Self-advocacy is about expressing ourselves and be heard. being a leader who fights for others, working together on our rights. Self-advocacy is important because it makes us equal. No one else can explain our issues better than us. Building confidence, giving us visibility, teach raises awareness of others. To many people with intellectual disabilities are not allowed to make their own decisions. We can be in control of our lives, even if we need support to do so. In Inclusion International's 2014 Global Report, independent but not alone on the rights to decide, we heard. Independent does not mean alone. People with intellectual disability may need ongoing support throughout their lives. It is okay to need support. Need to support families, need to support self-advocacy. Over the last 20 years, we have seen self-advocacy growing in many places. Yet the development of the self-advocacy has been uneven, and in countries where self-advocacy is not understood, people with intellectual disability continue to have no voice. Inclusion International is building a global self-advocacy strategy to help connect self-advocates around the world and to show what is needed to build self-advocacy. For us, self-advocacy is about coming together to create a common plan for change. It is not just about what I want, need. It is about what we want and need. Self-advocacy requires good support and inclusive practices. People need to change how they are doing things to include self-advocacy. And we must start now. Self-advocacy start at home and start at birth. Around the world, the primary source of support for people with intellectual disability is their families. Families need to do things without their efforts. Family need help to do things. Without their effort, most people with intellectual disability would have no access to disability support or to the community. Families need support to understand the value of self-advocacy and how to develop it from a young age. In closing, to promote and realize the rights of people with intellectual disability, we need to be included in all parts of the community. We need community development effort to build support in inclusion. This also means making sure international cooperation efforts are also inclusive. Many communities-based rehabilitation efforts and programs funded through development assistance have contributed to segregation and exclusion. Governments should require that all services they fund be accessible and available for all citizens. Self-advocates around the world have a simple message. We want to go to school. We want to have jobs. We want to have families. Our voice matters. Thank you.